Well, now I get to see where I was. And the answer is that I believe I took the... No, I did not get the Tome of Enlightenment or whatever it was called just yet. That is at somewhere up north, actually. Red creature spell north to Zalfiran Haven. They will give us some free life total. And now we have to duel this Necromancer. Unfortunately, he's got one of our small removal spells in his in the anti-zone, so we can't use that. As he discards a Bad Moon. That is kind of a shame, but also I don't want to be dealing with his fucking zombies. So I'm okay with that. Play the Warlord and proceed as he paralyzes my one guy. I can't deal with that. I have to scoop. And we are not accepting that under any circumstances. Absolutely the fuck not. Nomad's Bazaar. Okay. So this is going to be... This is going to let me buy for coin, right? Yeah, so I will gladly pick up... In fact, I'm going to go so far as to grab all 4 of those. I saw that price fluctuate a little bit. That's interesting. A little bit more for Dothy Ghoul. That's fine. Enchantment. How much is Bad Moon going to cost us? Shit. All right, sure. That's fine. I mean, it's not the nicest thing I've ever seen, but still. I get to go over here now, and I get to try to piece some of this together. Put our Bad Moon in here. And I'm feeling like 19 swamps is good enough for me. So, put that in. Game, I believe I told you to remove those cards. Please, please, just do this for me, just the once. There we go. That's looking a little bit better. We spent basically all of our money, but I think it was probably worth it. As we had to fight this dude. And see what we get out of the deal. Play that. As I sit here with 0 playmakers and plenty of mana. Why do you think I keep deleting all these... Oh, right. That doesn't work. Well, that's probably okay then. Ensnaring Bridge. Creatures with power greater than the number of cards in your hand can't attack. I care a lot about this. Oh, I care a lot about this. Never mind. Anyway, kill this thing, because I don't like it. Good use of your resources there, because I have nothing for you to sacrifice. He plays Dark Writ. He plays Breeding Pool. Breeding Pit, rather. Breeding Pool is something completely different. He only has 1 card in hand. You fucker. You piece of shit. I wish I could force him to draw. Unfortunately, I am now going to be stuck sitting here waiting for him to take a turn where he doesn't play anything. Come on, don't... God damn it! I think I'm just screwed here. Because I can't I can't get through his ensnaring bridge. I fucking hate ensnaring bridge, dude. I think practically anybody does at this point, especially with how much the game has really become about creatures. Yeah, you got any more of those? Ass guy. That's what we're going with today, I guess. I'm only slightly salty, but I think it's slightly justifiable in this case. Xenic Poltergeist. That's target non-artifact, non-creature artifact becomes... Oh, it can be once controlled by either player. I double-clicked that, thank you. Oh, no, he's doing the weird thing here. And now he's got Ensnaring Bridge up again. Of course it does. Well, play Jet Medallion and play Dothy Warlord, I guess. Alright, now just don't play cards, please. Oh, he keeps playing lands. Well, I guess if nothing else, I can sit around and wait for him to do that. That's fine. I'll just discard the evil and intimidating horse, I guess. Play that. Stop playing cards, you... Carevex Hex is useless to me! Well, I guess I can just eat one of his things with the quicksand, can't I? Yeah, so we'll just eat that, I guess. Whatever, I take damage from the cockroaches. And he dies from me just waiting for him to die, basically. Cool. What a great round. And where am I going to for this? Zalfirin Haven is off to the east. And there's a horse guy there that we don't want to deal with. Nomad's Bazaar, I don't have money for that, so I'll take your Winds of Wrath, though. It's pretty nice. Hall of the Sultan. You've got Parage of Urborg, and you've got a Broken Visage. These are both kind of usable. This isn't my favorite hand that I've ever drawn, but I feel like it will do. Unfortunately, I also really don't like that this guy immediately dropped Spirit Link on the free creature that I got, but our strategy never really revolves around King Solomon anyway, so that's perfectly fine by me, actually. God damn it. Well, here, enjoy your City of Brass hurting you even more, my guy. Play Dothy Horror. And Unholy Strength. Just that way we can hit a little bit harder with it. Do that. He's got Subterranean Spirit. Oh, right. It's pro-red, so it's immune to its own effect. But I can do this. And just sort of delete it. I ultimately did not need to do that. I didn't realize Bro was only at 2 HP. Get off my back. And we get one of those. Okay, so... any sorceries... That's still target non-black creatures, so that's not very efficacious in the way that we would want it to be. I mean, it's got its uses, but it's not exactly lighting my world on fire here. Obviously, part of it is just the fact that you know, black is really not a good opponent against itself. This is bad. This is a bad hand. I want something that is less bad than that. That's not really good, but it's less bad. So, I'll take that. Longbow Archer. That's a pretty stacked creature card for 1998, really. And another one. Fuck. Kind of tempted to just throw Cursed Flesh on one of them just to weaken it a little bit. 2 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. Oh, that's Cursed Flesh, right? Not Cursed Land. That's the one I'm looking for. I'm dead anyway, though, so... I don't remember where I last saved. But... I want to take a look at our map here again. Sanctum, Temporal Anchor... I think the place that we're looking for is, like, off to the west a little bit. And thank you for the good luck, Irene. At this rate, I'm gonna need it quite a bit. Sorry, that's mercenary, not... yeah. Take that out and put the ghoul in place. I've got some stuff I can sell, right? Yeah, Mornfen is not really strong, nor is that thing. Discovered Paradise, that's not really rich. Never mind. So, did I have another Sacred Mesa still? Yes, I did. For 720, yeah, give me the money there. Absolutely. Which surely means that all that stuff is, like, wildly overpriced. Yeah, I'm not likely to use Sleight of Hand very much, but I will take it anyway. Oh, no, I don't think that one costs. Yeah, see, that's a huge mistake, but... it's good to... it's better to have it and not use it than not have it and really, really want it. Spectral Arena. Oh, Beastmaster. That, I think, is not actually as strong of a guy compared to some of the others that we see here. But... oh, no, he's got 18 life. Never mind. He is a fairly nerve-wracking individual, I suppose. So we'll play our Jet Medallion and drop our turn 1 Dothy Marauder, and... that's pretty nice. Lion may pay... any player may pay blue. If that player does, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt by Lion this turn. Oh, yuck. I shouldn't be surprised by that, really, but... It does make me unhappy. Did I see the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged? I haven't seen it yet. I've really just seen that it exists. I need to get to that. Clearly. Swing for 5. And play Nausea. And then play a Dothy Mercenary. And honestly, still kind of be a little bit hung out to dry here because this guy has another creature on the field. So we're pretty much dead, but on the other hand, I was going to say maybe he'll be dumb. But also the real other part of that is at bare minimum nothing was on the line, and hey, great anti-change there. Yes, I believe I did see that one. Although, it has been a minute, so... You know, imagine me trying to remember anything in the first place, right? Got Bad Moon. And that dude has to attack, which is fine, because... That's just a free couple of life points off of this guy's health meter. Right. Swing Dothy Slayer, play another one, and Dothy Horror as well. I mean, yes, but unfortunately, those are pretty close to each other. Regardless, we take our combat phase here, and that should be a win. It sure is, and we get ourselves access to a dungeon clue. I'm going to take that instead. Greed is the permanent effect there. That's interesting, I think. So we still have 3 warlords. That's pretty good. Marauder, mercenary, options, cutthroat. What do you do? Oh yeah, that kills shadow creatures. 6, 7. Oh yeah, there's only 9 in this era because the 10th one is something that was printed way later. Right. So we want to go over here, and we want to pick up Diabolic Edict a couple of times. Should be enough. And there is the Time Dungeon. Move Terror, and put that in. Request 3 black amulets. That's not very useful. Let's save. Take a peek at our map. Yeah, I think the Black Castle is just kind of off to the east over here. Black amulets for any sorceries. Put a pin in that one game. Gemcutters Guild. No, I don't need any of those. Not for money. Change my anti-card. It did nothing. That's fantastic. Thank you, game. Play this. And get ourselves a nice start. His blessing on his death speakers. So that way you can dump mana into buffing them. Well, that's fine. You're not really going to get a chance to get anywhere near killing me, I don't... Ah, shit. Actually, no, this is fine. He's only got 1 life. Everything is okay, everybody! Yeah, free one of those. Zerolon sends a Goblin Lord to attack Wildfire Keep. That is... I'll just have to put up with that, really. Forest. Dragon's Eerie. Change? Ah, fine. I probably shouldn't do that quite so often, because it seems like it doesn't necessarily do a ton for us all the time. But yeah, go ahead and burn yourself. Yeah. Oh, he's not playing more of those, unfortunately. But hey. God, rip my entire hand. Rip 2 Marauders. That is harsh. But okay. I guess. This is Utabia Freet. Now, thankfully, he is burning the fuck out of himself here, so... Credit where that's due, I suppose. And I was going to say, I am able to build fast, but... Not by enough with that horse shit going on there. But we're going to put an Unholy Strength there. Alright, come on, dude. Burn yourself down a little bit more. That's not why I wanted you to... Ah! Son of a... This guy doesn't know how to cooperate with anything. Take a land spell west, they will give us... Yeah. I mean, whatever. Land spell, it says, which is not correct, but hey, they take a plains, and we get a little bit of more health capacity. That's pretty nice. Carevex, that'll be the black fellow there. The black mage. Not that black mage. Take a mulligan, and that's better. That can stay on top of our library. Here, let's even things out a little bit more, in theory. He ditches a Repentance, which is... Deals damage equal to its power to itself. Okay. I'm actually going to remove Keeper of the Light right now, because I don't like that thing. Play this, play Dothy Ghoul, play Dothy Marauder, and pass turn, and he does that. Well, I'll play Bad Moon instead, and swing for 3. Oh, right, that one destroys enchantments on contact. That's a pity. Well, whatever. He's wide open. It's fine. Now, hold up. Oh, no, he attacked with the monk instead. Never mind. I was going to be like, what the fuck? But, I mean, ultimately, I can still kind of say that, but hey. Perfectly fine, dude. Branch was broken off by the extreme winds, which hit a power line. Had blackouts at work, generators kicked in. Then it happened later. The story is more interesting. Is there more to it? Go on. Because... yeah, the winds this morning were really harsh. It was very, very noisy. Oh. Perfect timing, yeah. Take the dungeon clue. Yeah, we know where that is, actually. And pull up the map. There's another Mind Stealer over there. Beat the cleric, and we will get a white amulet. Sure, why not, actually? It's not so bad. Unfortunately, that's a high priest and not a Oh, I can't switch my anti-card if I am not allowed to escape? That's bullshit, man. That's kind of a load of crap, but hey. It's just kind of how it goes. Play this. And give it a boost. Unfortunately, I can't kill this thing because it's protection from black, but I can make this guy discard a card at random and discard a card by choice. Yeah, meanwhile, this guy is just playing all protection from black creatures. An artifact. What does that say again? An artifact, a creature, an enchantment, and a land, then sack the rest. Jesus Christ, dude. Well, I'm actually glad that you made the choices that you did, dude. That's fine. I mean, on paper, not really. It's very specifically because it's just like, these guys are so strong, effectively. Or something like that. I think that's the lore. Is that they're the most trusted confidants of each of these wizards. So it's not necessarily an ambush, but it's certainly, it's alright. It could be a hell of a lot worse, what we had to put up against that, so it's more just like, huh, that's useful information that most of the super hard opponents won't let you do that, so if you get forced to dump a Black Lotus or something against one of those, well, yeah, you're gonna have to do that anyway, so to put it succinctly here, I think it looks real gross. Oh yeah, Sarcomancy. I don't really need that, do I? I do, however, really want the low-level guy to actually show up here. Yeah, like, this guy is kind of mid-tier, but having a Mox Jet for an anti, that sucks. This kind of sucks too, but we'll put up with it a little bit more than having to ante up the Mox Jet. I'd rather do this, but yeah, player Dothy Mercenary. And we will force this guy to discard a card. He's just discarding a land. That's okay. Swing 2, and he plays something that we literally do not interact with anyway, so that's fine. And yet another thing that we literally don't interact with. Yeah, it's just sort of like, well, like I said, it's very important to know, because that can make certain encounters suck even more. Oh, whoa, hey, quit jumping around, please. Save that for later in some form or another. I don't think I really care too much about Blight in this deck, so I will put... I said I want that out of the deck. Because it's not... Well, I guess at least I can double-click, and also the space of time for a double-click is long as fuck. But good to know. What was I looking for? Oh, yeah, Sarcomancy. That's right. Not getting very much money out of it compared to what I've seen it for, but that's fine. Karavak is definitely that dude, right? Because it's Zero on that. What's the white guy be? Oh, Mangara, right. Okay, so we get to see in that thing. Yeah, this is a bit of an unfortunate anti-swap, but I would prefer to have the removal in my deck still for at least the length of this duel. Play that and drop the Black Lotus. Light and Tutor for Serrated by Skeleon. Drop Cursed Land to start with, and now we both get to sit here with nothing to play. And yeah, you played Serrated by Skeleon. That's just gonna get erased immediately. Because yeah, something that does that, a bit of a problem, actually. Again, because almost all of our creatures have only 1 toughness. So that can kill 2 creatures for the price of 1, and that 1 creature is very cheap too, so. Yeah. I'm not super happy about the direction any of this is going, but that's okay. Reveals Avenging Angel, which we already saw that you had one of those in your hand. That's fine. You go ahead and do that, because leaving it as a 4/1, that is perfectly okay, really. I'll just take the damage. Ooh, Xanthic Statue. That is a bit strong, actually, with all of that colorless mana going around. Heesh. Yeah, I'll take these. So I can have even more. Oh my god. The weak dude just evaporated. Apparently. Is that the one I'm looking for? I think that's the one I'm looking for. Get over here, you... Fuck off! You also! Get over here, you filthy vermin! About time. He plays a Sacred Guide. I will just Cursed Flesh that immediately. I'd rather use that on that than Diabolic Edict on that, so... Play another one of these, and... He didn't attack with the Fleet-Footed Monk, shockingly. Curses land, and... I mean, I guess he knows, but still. Right, play Warlord. And Edict. Yeah, get rid of whatever you feel like. He uses a Healing Salve to get himself some more life. Oh my god, this guy just... This guy was spending this much time running away from me to prep the perfect draw, I think. Here, let's remove your Soul Shepherd from existence. And as long as he's afraid to swing into me because of the quicksand, then we can just steadily chip this guy down. And that, I'm okay with. You know, if it works, sometimes you just gotta take what you get, right? Convalescence. Oh, how irritating. It's fairly minor, but still. Dust to Dust, which is exile 2 target artifacts. I don't think it gains you life, but in the back of my head, I'm like, doesn't it, though? Alright, we will play the Dothy Slayer. And you've got a... Yeah, deals damage to a player, destroy target enchantment. Right, so we just swing. I do also kind of like, in a rather silly way, the fact that Quicksand can still eat the shadow creatures, even though there's every possibility that they shouldn't be on the same plane as those. Save and... Okay, so that's what I was looking for before, is this location, Aku, the Tomb City. This is our black dungeon. We're gonna go for it. We're gonna take a crack at this place. Because honestly, being able to pick up some more black cards for our deck would be pretty good. Where is... No, I think Nausea can stay. Carifex Hex is the one that needs to go. Or another... Because I think I have a... Yeah, I was going to say, I have a 3rd Diabolic Edict, right? And that will give me plenty of removal that actually works on players who are mostly playing black, which is what we're going to be getting into here. Will you dare challenge the mighty Carifex? Are you brave enough to enter this castle? Well, no. Yes, let's do this. He's got Recycle as his permanent enchantment, which is interesting because that's green as opposed to black. Although I guess there was a version of it that was reprinted in Planar Chaos called Null Profusion. It's the same ability, but it's a black card instead of green. And I did kind of gloss over what it is. Don't worry, we'll have a look at it in a moment. Coat of Arms. I mean, at least that means I get to play Coat of Arms, but I'd rather have a creature. Because black is also one of the rather small number of colors that even in this early era of Magic had access to a decent creature type in the form of zombies. There weren't a ton of zombie lords yet, but there were some. And he's got Krovikan Sorcerer on his side, which is... what again? Discard a non-black card, draw a card. Discard a black card, draw 2 cards, then discard 1 of them. Right. Okay. So, get the fuck out of here, dude. Swing in. Alright. So, let's show this off real quick. This is what this card does. You skip your draw step. Whenever you play a card, that includes playing a land, casting a spell, anything of that nature, draw a card. But your maximum hand size is 2. It is a very interesting thing. It can be a little bit unwieldy, but I actually quite like it, but I wouldn't like to start a game with it, so ultimately forcing the opponents to have only 2 cards in hand may actually be a huge boon for us, because that kind of cuts their legs off a little bit at times, as they just have to absolutely empty everything. However, under certain circumstances, it can allow for some pretty nutty combos, as you've seen there. But also, it does kind of mean that that's not that common. But when it does show up, oh boy, it can be a bit of an issue. All right, Mox Jet, and Swamp, and drop our Dothy Marauder. Yeah, see, this is the one big kind of downside is that he does get a really strong first turn. Also, right, the Nether Fiend is the ensnaring bridge dickhead. That could prove to be problematic eventually, but for the time being, I'm not super worried about it. Especially if he only has one land. He may be hard locked now. He may just actually be out of the game. And we just get to give him a swirly for the rest of this time here. Yeah. He has literally no plays right now. Like I said, powerful effect. You do not want to start the game with it. So, I think what I would say, if I had anything in particular to say to the devs, is rethink this. I understand what you're going for, and we can see a little bit of funny business going on here, but also we did literally just see an instance of the opponent completely locking themselves out of the game. Oh. Sorry, I was clicking on his field. And then I just clicked right past attacking with my creature. That's smart. And play the horror, because the odds of having anything die at this point are pretty low. Swing in. I mean, the other thing that I think I would say is I'm not sure how I feel about the fact that these do use all of the updated creature types, because it does feel a little bit inauthentic, but that's just a personal thing that I would change. If I was able to like crack into the mod and do like a mod of a mod, like some kind of massive dork. But you know, to each their own. Karavek the Ruthless, here he is. The big man himself. The mono black monstrosity. And I have Stupor in my opening hand. Yo, thank you for the... What's that, 6? 6, thank you. I had to scroll up on my chat window because of the hype train thing cropping up there. But genuinely, thank you very kindly for all of the number there. With a shout out to Rod Johnson, Cleave the Land, Cleveland, I guess. Jastacintinit, yeah, I'll go with that. Blurpy, Shiny Raichu 94, and JJ Tizzle. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you all. And as I said, thank you all. Anyway, let's shut this guy out of the game completely. This is what I think we could call cruel and unusual gameplay here on our part. He can't do anything anymore. I would have to destroy his recycle, and that would be really silly. I also can't do that in mono black, so... Excuse me while I chuckle, I guess. Unlike Knuckles, right? And now we'll just take the win because why not? Well, that was disgustingly easy. I'm a little bit surprised here. That is the first time that I've played any of these mods and gotten a castle in one try, I believe. There's a badge for gifting 5,000. What? I didn't know that was a thing. Oh, geez, I think I need to make... Well, I don't know if there's individuated per channel gifting badges, are there? Somebody here who knows a little bit more Twitch lore than me, feel free to let me know. Now I'm going to take a look at some of the card options here. I mean, realistically, like... I guess Nocturnal Raid. Okay, there are customizable. I'll have to figure out some sort of visual theming to go with some of those at some point. I did see that I could do, like, sub badges, and I just never got around to that for some reason. Because I went digging through stuff today on Twitch. A little bit, anyway. Scare Tactics is, like, useful for how cheap it is. It's the number of creature... Yeah, Soul Shriek isn't really going to do what I need it to here. Someone in the other room is having a big sneeze. Let's pick up Nocturnal Raid. We'd use one of those. I mean, now that we are... I mean, yeah, it's just sort of something like that. Just like a chromatic progression, I suppose. Another Dothy Ghoul, I guess. Yeah, so unfortunately, since we can't pick up any artifacts from this, I think we're basically just leaning really, really hard into our funnier stuff here. But, an 80-month badge just for... I mean, at the rate that it's going... I apparently unlocked the next level of badge in, like, June, which I think would probably be the point at which that size of badge would be, that anybody would be able to be subbed for that long, and I forget how high it goes at that point, but it's pretty high. And I just think that's a little bit funny. Yeah, look at it. Look at this guy. Very interesting bit of magic lore. I've talked about this before, this creature, Necrotal. We can't see the type line on here, but I will inform you that it is listed as a human assassin as of 9th edition, I believe. So this is of interest because in the lore, there is no, like, human assassins that are known by that title. The title Necrotal is a name that was given to a type of jinn. As in, like the Arabic spirit of... not like the kind that you drink, which is... I get to say not like the kind that you drink, basically, to two statements at once there. Basically, because my understanding is that they chose the name Necrotal here because Mirage Block and etc. had a lot of direct imports from some very Islamic folklore because it is very heavily based off of the background set called Arabian Nights. And Arabian Nights was kind of like Universes Beyond before Universes Beyond a little bit. arguably, in that it was a Magic set that was literally based around stuff from the 1001 Nights. And that was the only time that they were doing outside, outside mythology for a while. Because they decided they didn't like it after that, and, they made their own original lore, which is kind of cool, because, to my knowledge, the Tempest block is the first piece of media that I can name, the first piece of Western media that I can name that involves nanomachines. But basically, so around this time, Magic was attracting a lot of heat from various moral guardians. Not only because of the fact that it included anti-mechanics up to a point, and then eventually the playing for anti rule was taken out sometime around 5th edition because they didn't want to run afoul of gambling laws, which is quite understandable. But more importantly, I mean, nowadays, I'm pretty sure that if they were to make a Magic the Gathering 2, they would be legally required to add the anti-laws back in. But I digress. So, on the other hand, you also had a lot of the usual right-wing evangelical Christian extremists who looked at the fact that, not content with having been humiliated by what happened to them with Dungeons and Dragons years before, and obviously Magic has a lot of D&D DNA in it, and so there's a couple of demons in there. Lord of the Pit is a big notable one. Is Lord of the Pit in here? Yes. So here's Lord of the Pit, classic card, gross looking MFer. This was in the original core set in Alpha, and then was taken out by 5th edition because they were getting undue attention from the kind of people that I already said before. So the Necrotal was originally a type of djinn, and this is one that is actually pulled from various tales in the Arabic area. I don't know if folklore is necessarily the right word, or, if I should say Islamic or Arabic, but the type of it was called a shaitan, which is typically transliterated as Shaytan or Shaitan. Either way, very greatly resembles the word Satan. And obviously having a creature that was a type of thing called a Satan, big no-go at the time. So they just sort of created something that sounded vaguely the part and used the necros, basically the Greek word nekros, as the root term for it. So, basically what I'm saying is that this creature has been enshrined in rules modifications for almost 20 years as a human, when it extremely is not. I mean, feasibly, you could have this, guild of assassins called the Necrotal in another world that are humans, by and large. But this sort of runs afoul of the issue sometimes with card games and having unique names for things. And sometimes you just would like to have different sets of rules for the card with the same name to represent different things that are called the same thing. Ultimately, I think what I'm kind of saying here is that the Pokemon TCG did actually do something right once upon a time. Anyway, so I mean, this dude is actually quite good. So back in the day, Necrotal became quite infamous as being the 187 creature, which has a lot of very interesting, folk etymology. There we go. That's the word. There's a lot of people who said a lot of shit about it has to do with collector number, or it has to do with something in the comprehensive rules. No. The Necrotal was known as 187 because of the California Penal Code. A term of 187 as a phrase used to mean murder being something that was popularized outside of Cali a little bit more due to a variety of rap songs. At bare minimum, at least one that I think Snoop was on the one that I'm thinking of specifically, but so yeah, just a fun little story that I think it's very interesting that so many people were so willing to just kind of lie about the fact that that's where it came from. And by interesting, I mean, well, I think you know what I mean when I say that it's interesting that they were lying about the fact that it was very likely inspired by the fact that some of them were listening to rap. But let's continue to not go there as I go look for one more card to take for this deck. I am decidedly enjoying the version of this that I am playing. There's a lot of fun stuff that I could take just in mono black in general. Wall of Souls. Whenever it's dealt combat damage, deals that much damage to target opponent. That's pretty neat. Zombie Master. Although the Swamp Walk isn't very important anymore, so big whoop. We could grab Mirage of Urborg again and get another one of those if we so desired. Is there Senger Vampire here? There's Senger Autocrat. Yeah, I think Senger Vampire was out of the game at this point for a little while. Which is a bit of a shame. Soul Drinker, what the fuck is... Hey, 3 life, put a counter on... Yeesh. That's pretty bad. I thought it was a lot better than that. Shauku Endbringer. This is a very weird card, but it would work very well with Shallow Grave just to be a strong removal effect. But more importantly, I am going back over here and looking at my Dothy options again, because this is what I'm playing as my deck, basically. So let's get in business and take ourselves yet another Warlord. And watch out for that Dragon Charge of the jungle. I now get to go, well, where do I go to get that 4th spot for every card type in my deck? Because I don't remember anymore. I saw it earlier, but I forgot. Surprisingly, Curiosity, not worth very much. That is a pretty strong card, considering that. Diminishing Returns, that can be sold, however. Go west and get ambushed by a bunch of dudes. Let's rotate that. I suppose I could offer that up as an option. Alright, play Dothy Horror. Play that. Crack the Bauble. Radiant Essence. I don't recall what that is, so... great to see that. Either way, we bust this open, and we curse a land right away. Ortog, let's get that out of here immediately. I just don't like that guy. Radiant Essence, here we go. Yeah, it's a creature. Gets +1/+2 as long as the opponent controls it. Ooh, well, you're getting a good deal for that, I guess. But unfortunately, you are still kind of getting poached for your ivory here, buddy. You see, because he's an elephant man, so... I'm making reference to something kind of horrible. Our Glade. Yeah, I gotta go on the other side of the green castle here. Dodge. Oh, I don't want to deal with this old man, unfortunately. Well, the art is not an old man. I do not know where a large part of this art actually comes from. Most of this stuff is not actually existing MTG art that I'm aware of. Which is quite strange. Okay, let's just annihilate that thing for fun. Swing for 3. Well, now we got another snake to deal with here. Well, deal with is a bit of a stretch. We can just move to combat there, and yeah. Oh, Whirling Dervish. You are a funny old bastard. Play Nausea, and then drop another Warlord. Ooh, you are building up a bit of a force here, ain't you? Play that. I mean, at bare minimum, I can just kill the other Whirling Dervish. Just instantaneously. Thank you, Quicksand. Great card. I mean, sure, going down a land sounds real bad, but also you can put it to very good use. Go over here. We take our Vampirism, which is better than some of the other options here. Travel north to Ikundu Keep. So where is... Oh, Ikundu Keep is currently being held by the Green Wizard, who is... Oh, right, Jolrail, right. I feel like I can fight this elephant fella again. This shouldn't be too hard. On the other hand, I am keeping it a hand that doesn't have plays in it to start with, which might be a bit of a poor choice, but that's fine. Go ahead and find yourself another garbage bird. I just wanted to make sure that you couldn't do that this turn. Ooh, right. Briar Shield can be sacked to give it an extra +2/+2 until end of turn. Okay. Curse land, and play another Bad Moon, which will be real good once I start actually drawing creatures. Yo, there we go. Stupor. Discard your Winds of Wrath and your Aura of Silence. I'm okay with that. How goes Retro? It's going pretty alright. Afia Grove. This is a very weird card for the time, by the way. I just want to show this off. It's an enchantment that comes in with counters on it, with 3+1/+1 counters on it. It's not a creature. This was, I think, the first card that actually was like this. And you can move a counter off of it at the beginning of your upkeep onto a target creature. And then when it has no more counters on it, sack it, which is kind of standard operating procedure. Entirely fair means of cleaning up the board. Whatever, we just take the win here. Easy. Very easy, actually. Meanwhile, this dragon is tailing us pretty hard. Oh, that stop may have... I was going to say that may have cost me, but we're okay. It's the Fungus Master, who doesn't really look very fungal whatsoever, but that's fine. Let's do this. Let's get to work. I'll start out by forcing a discard. What the fuck? Why are you called Drill Sergeant and have 66 life? Something weird has happened here. Start out by enfeebling that thing. Play that, and play the Dothy Horror. Good thing the game is thinking enough to leave Quicksand untapped. Okay, fine. I will actually tap it for mana and play our Jet Medallion. Cursed Flesh to remove the Rootwater Hunter. There are like 3 Tim effects in this game, I think. Because you've got that, you've got Cicada Firewalker, and you've got the original. Oh, damn you. I can't believe you would do this to me. Yeah, I can, actually. Never mind. Turn target aura. Creeping Mold. Cast Creeping Mold on my enchantment. Ugh. God, I mean, I did pretty good damage-wise for having nothing, but I don't know what's up with the fact that I came over here and this enemy has 66 HP. But now it's a Beastmaster who has a proper amount of HP, so I now know even less what the deal was there, but okay. Nausea can get tucked because I don't think that's actually going to come in handy here. Yeah, bro gets a turn 1 Grizzly Bears, and I don't really care that much. Triangle of... Well, I've... Interesting! I wasn't expecting to see that, but I guess it totally makes sense. It's just that it is a really bad card under most circumstances. Anyway, just clear the board, and here comes another Triangle of War. So, yeah, I mean, hey, at this point, if we just keep the board clear, I mean, okay, that's kind of a strategy in of itself. Is to just not take any damage. You do again? Top 3 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. That's an interesting card. That is not a very green effect, I don't think. But we take the win here, and now I can put away my befuddlement from earlier because that was quite the dysfunction. The dysfunction junction. Let's fight this shapeshifter. I think my hand is kind of mediocre, but I'm taking it anyway because at least now I will know for a fact that I have lands. Meanwhile, these ornithopters are of no great concern to me. And where did this Carnacid come from? That's... That seems a little bit messed up. I'm gonna have a look at that in a little bit. Play that, and Stupor. This art definitely looks out of the style. Like, there's some pixelation going on there, making it all crusty. I'm not gonna lie, I'm going to assume now that that art that's used for this is all AI generated. I kind of had assumed that for a bit, but that really seems like very much of a of a Gen AI thing. That's deeply unfortunate. That is deeply unfortunate. But all I'll say is, hey, it wasn't my idea. And I didn't see anything notifying of such at the time, so... That's also very possible. I think ultimately for me, I am very quick to judge that with certain art styles because you see them so often in AI stuff. Waiting in the Weeds, I believe this is a 3-mana spell, is it not? It sure is. So we get an Avazoa for that. That is not a great card. That is... Like, clearly they were trying to get a little bit of Chronotog's bit going here, but it doesn't work. But for some reason, it's worth 895 gold. So 1,800 for Orator. Jeez, you are kidding me, but I will take it anyway. I feel like I'm about to get punked, but hey. We get to pick that up, so that's great. Save it, and off we go. City info. It's... Tell us where... Or is it not? Info map. There we go. Okay, Tome of Enlightenment is over yon. Let's see if we can go grab that to wrap things up here as we slowly get surrounded by a bunch of the blue mages, and also this guy who counts as green. Play this, and Warlord. Well, yeah, obviously we want to tap that for black. Are you kidding me? And the horror, and off we go. Yeah, see, this is like the one time when I will go, yeah, I'll take a 1-land hand. And somehow it has yet to not go in my favor yet. At least not this battle. Playing Hidden Horror. Well, dude, I'm afraid that doesn't really matter, but I will be very rude about it and cast Diabolic Edict anyway. Yeah, give me some cards. Go west to Ikundu Keep. They will give us some more mana, give us some more life, rather. Get a forest. Yeah, Ikundu Keep is at least just right up the... That's literally where we just were. Oh, oh, that was a very silly thing I did. Reroll? Nah, I don't feel like fighting the Mind Stealer. He seems annoying. Evil Zeralon taps. Sakata Shrine. Meh. Not interested. Oh, something is going on over there. I don't know what the deal is, but we've got to fight this dude. Every once in a while, the game kind of makes you... Oh, huh? We start with a Magma Mine in play? Well, alright then. Let's even the board state up a little bit here with a Funeral Charm, and he had to discard a Soltarian Monk, which is great, because I can't do anything about that, actually. Damn it. Meanwhile, I'm just going to delete that right now. Yeah, because I have a feeling that I'm not going to be able to mess around with most of this guy's cards. On the other hand, I could probably just blow up this Order of the White Shield right now. if I so desired, and at the rate things are going, I may have to go with that because I am not drawing anything right now. Yeah, see, that's not even that helpful. Yeah, so let's just crack this thing open and kill that creature real quick. And he used Cataclysm, so I'm going to keep that and keep a land. Right, this guy loves doing this. But Soltari Priest, that is not a huge issue for me. Eye for an eye. Next time a source of your choice would deal damage to you this turn. Instead, that source deals that much damage to you, and Eye for an Eye deals that much damage to that source's controller. So it's pretty much what you would expect out of the name, really. Out of Dawn, who gives himself protection of a color of its controller's choice. Now, this coat of arms is really not going to be very useful to us, the way this is going. Yeah, you sack that, of course you do. As opposed to a good creature. Unless I can draw the other Diabolic Edict, I am just going to concede. Well, I lost a Quicksand. I'm pretty sure I have a lot of those, though, so that's not a huge issue. Really. It was Matenda Haven that I have to get to, right? I think it was. Yeah, I still have 4 extra Quicksand, so that's perfectly fine. Alright, give me that Tome of Enlightenment. And now I get to look at this stuff and go, okay, how do I tweak these numbers to make this stay good? And I think the first thing, we take out a Nausea, and we find a... Okay, I have 2 Warlords here, so I can put both of those in if I wish. And you better believe I do. Get this Nausea out of here. I was literally trying to pull that out, but... Okay. Okay. I don't think I really need the Mercenary that much in this deck if I'm able to play a couple of other cards. Like, that one will go in. I don't have a 4th Diabolic Edict, unfortunately. I should have grabbed another Enfeeblement, actually, because that would be very useful for this. But let's take a look here. We got 15 of these creatures. This is pretty good, actually, so far. And there's another Dothy Horror. We'll pick that up in case we lose one of them. Oh, for a sec, I thought that was over 500 gold, and I was going to be confused. Kundu Glade is a ways away. They love to tell me to go to places that are, like, super-duper far to get things, but that Amulet of Swamp Walk would be pretty nice. Defeat the Conjurer and we can get some blue amulets. I don't really think I need those right now. Especially not without the associated world magic, which I can't remember what it is or if it's even any good. So... yeah. Go west to Ikundu Glade. That's funny because we're actually already going there. Pick this up. Spectral Guardian, as long as it's untapped, non-artifact creature, something. Unfortunately, it's in white, and we're playing a mono black deck, so what I think I have to say about that is big whoop. Maybe it sells decently or something. That's usually the thing that the white mages have to capture when you fight them after they capture a town, rather. Oh, hey, look. This guy is right here, so I get to go beat the crap out of this dude. Any sorceries, right. Alright. First of all, we pay the gold, save, and get over here, you. Change that. I mean, neither option was great, but okay. Keep this hand, even though it is almost literally all mana. And eat his free creature. Wow, this is unnecessary. 6 swamps, 2 black lotuses, and 1 funeral charm. This is... Well, okay, that at least is a play. We got 2 pretty big cards out of his hand there. That's... I appreciate that one. Unfortunately, I just got completely screwed here, so... Now I get to reload a little bit. I want that in my deck again. Yeah, I'm okay with losing that, I think. This hand, however, is kind of bad, so we take the reroll, and we don't exactly consider what we have now to be favorable, but... That's okay. It does start with the 2 Dothy Slayers, so that's pretty good. We can give that guy the boot, and... Off we go. Off we go. Yeah, sure, I'll just kill that thing for the cost of my 1 land. Would I prefer to do it a different way? Yes, but that is perfectly fine from my perspective. And you play a Trained Armadon. I was going to say, I still win the damage race, but not anymore, I don't, so I really need to draw actual cards here. Actually, who am I kidding? The damage race is already over. And yes, as you can see, if you lose to a guy who's attacking the town, you immediately end up with them capturing it. Honestly, I don't love having to ante a Black Lotus, but it does sort of remove the possibility of it being in my opening hand, which, in a perverse way, is kind of helpful. Yeah, keep this quicksand. And sure, just go ahead and eat the bears. And he plays another elephant. So I'll play that, and that will be completely unhelpful. Ouch. Yeah, again, I think I just die, but I am going to hold out hope that I don't have cards in my deck to deal with this. What am I thinking? Change the anti-card. God, why did they put someone so hard at blocking this thing? The fuck? Why? What did I do to deserve this terrible roll? Oh, right. I played this game. That's my problem. Oh, wow, he's got Triangle of War. Who could imagine such a thing? But I do have all 3 of my Diabolic Edicts in hand, so that's cool. Alright, and play Dothy Marauder. And here, discard another card. You discard a Carnassiid, which is alright, and you play one of those. The rate this is going, this guy isn't going to ever play a creature for me to have to worry about casting Edict on. Well, there's a Matenda Lion, so get out of here. I'm not interested. I will not give you even the slightest chance to be able to kill my stuff. Not that there was really a chance anyway, but still, this is this is actually the worst game of Magic that I've ever played for either side, dude. Well, isn't that nice? We get a Timberwolves in the next duel. Who cares? But we'll figure that out next time.